Thank you for your time. Where are you from?
I'm from Italy, Venice.
Are you visiting or living here?
I'm visiting Japan for 70 days.
So firstly, what brought you to Japan?
So I've been stuck home for 3 years because of the coronavirus. So after my MA, I just want to see another culture. And I've been in love with Japan since a long time, so that's why I'm here.
Okay. So actually coming to Japan, so far, did you get some impression of Japan?
Yeah, the first thing I could tell you is about the respect that the people here for everything, and also, especially for the tourists. If you need help, here everyone will help you. Also, if they don't know how to talk in English, but they will find a way to communicate with you. I asked to a guy in the streets to help me find the hostels, and he didn't know how to talk in English, but he bring me there to the hostels.
Okay. So that was the impression of Japan you felt. But did you get more like shocking side? Like did you get some culture shock, which you were surprised at about Japan when you actually came here?
Maybe I wasn't shocked because it's not my first time in Asia. Not that every country on this side of the world are the same, but I already had the fortune to be in a foreigner Asian country. I went to Thailand, so maybe I wasn't that shocked like the first time that I came in Asia.
Thailand was the first Asian country, right? You visited. Yeah. So probably then you had some culture shock. What were you surprised at Thailand when you visit there first time?
Shocking thing about Thailand when I was there was that I was working as an English teacher in an elementary school, and I was the only foreigner in that place, so I was treated like a celebrity. Everyone asked me for signs and taking me pictures of me and all that stuff, so it was very intrusive, but I like it.
Okay.
Or don't like celebrity stuff.
But didn't you feel like offended?
No.
Like it was rude?
No, I didn't feel offended because I was the only foreigner, the first foreigner that those guys, those little students, so for the first time. So of course I was a new thing, and if I would be in their same situation, I would do the same, of course. So it's not that I like it because they want me to take pictures and all that stuff is stupid, but I like it because I saw the reaction of people who saw for the first time something. So that's why I like it.
Okay. So I want to ask about food. Did you try some food so far in Japan?
I think this morning I took the mochi. Yeah, I think it was a mochi with some peach cream inside.
Kind of sweet.
Yeah, kind of too much sweet, and it was also hard to cut it with the... And I also know that here, but I don't know if it's just a thing that I read about it, like during New Year's Eve, a lot of Japanese old people dying because they don't know how to with the mochi.
Yes.
So I can feel the hardness.
Okay.
It was more sweet, really more sweet. Do you guys love sweets? Everything like the sweets are sweeter.
Is Japanese sweet sweeter than Italian sweet?
I just had a mochi, but my dad worked with a Japanese company, so sometimes they bring to him some sweets, and every time I try them, they're so really, really sweet, more than the one that I usually have at home. But it always depends on what you're eating. So, and maybe you have some sweets that are more salty. So, it always depends.
Okay, So lastly, when you come back your country from Japan, and if you can bring anything, like materially, mentally, anything, even if like it's impossible to bring back, what do you want to bring back home from Japan?
I came here because I wanted to visit, of course, this culture that I would bring in my heart, but I also need the inspiration because I work in a creative sector, so it's important to get inspired by something. It's important for everyone. It makes you feel alive, and your mind will always have stimulus, from everything. And so I don't know if I can tell you just one thing because I don't know which thing it would be because it's everything. So that's my answer. It's a really easy answer, but it's everything that could inspire me. Sorry.
So you want to get some ideas or concepts or more abstract Yeah.
abstract concept. I
Yeah.
mean, really everything.
Everything.
I mean, like you could get inspired by, I don't know, a guy who is sleeping in the subway, or from little kids who is just holding the hands of his mom in the streets. You could get inspired by everything. So that's why I
Yes,
couldn't
okay.
tell you,
Yeah.
one thing, because everything could be inspiration for you.
Every
Yeah,
experience, every memory.
exactly.
It was very nice to talk with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you for your time. Where are you from?
I'm from Italy.
Italy.
Yes.
Okay. Are you traveling or living here in
Yeah,
Japan?
basically travel around Japan. So yeah, I've been here for like 2 months.
2 months.
Yeah.
Like you've been almost 2 months here. Where have you been around Japan?
So I've been to Nikko, then Kyoto, Osaka, Okinawa. Then I did also Hong Kong, quick trip. And then I've been Kamakura and Enoshima and Kawagoe. Yeah.
Many places.
Yeah.
So it's difficult question, but where did you like the most?
I think I'd say Kyoto because I'm really into history, and like I think you could really see the history in Kyoto.
Yes.
I don't know, it was really fascinating to see. I think it's like also very different to what we see in Europe, especially like the temples, the shrines.
Especially what spot, like what side was most impressive for you?
I think it's the Fishiminari temple, the one with
Fishiminari.
yeah, that one with the gates. I think that was like amazing. Also like going up the mountain and then seeing everything. I think that was the best and the one I enjoyed the most in Kyoto.
Okay. So during this 2 month trip,
Okay.
so what was the highlight of your experience in Japan, your trip?
I think like meeting people in hostels, I think that was a valuable experience because I think I stepped out of my comfort zone. No way I would like before this trip go up to people and talk to them. I would just stay with my friend group back home. Whilst now I think maybe it would make me less afraid, like go up to people.
So you are usually staying in hostel and interact with people.
Yeah.
Do you often travel abroad like that, like backpacking?
Not really. This is actually my first time like actually going alone. I usually go either with my parents or with friends. So yeah, this I think was one of my first experiences like this.
What was like more struggling about doing backpacking?
I think the greatest struggle was being alone. Like I think it could be valuable being alone. You for sure learn a lot, but the issue is like there's moments where you completely feel isolated, like there's no one, and you just have to rely on yourself. So in case there's a problem, there's no one else who's going to help you. It's just you, and it could become tiring after a while. So I think for sure this was the greatest struggle that I've encountered during this trip.
Okay. But on the contrary, I guess that you learned a lot of things by traveling by yourself.
Yes.
So what did you learn the most?
I think, I've learned exactly like how interact with other people, getting around by yourself, and also not being afraid of like stepping out of this comfort zone you create. So I think those are the main advantages of going alone. And exactly, I think because you're alone and you don't want to be alone the whole time, it probably also pushes you actually to interact with someone else. So whilst if you're with someone, like you already have there someone, so I think you're less motivated to meet like new people or interact with someone. So I think this was one of the assets of being alone.
So lastly, during this 2 month trip, if you got some wisdom for traveling, like some tips for traveling, could you share some tips for us to travel?
I'd say plan ahead, but don't really plan everything in the details because like plans usually don't always work out how you wish. I think that's also the beauty of traveling, also this like unpredictability and uncertainty, because also that's how life is.
Yes.
So I think not having a complete plan is also like a good tip.
Philosophical.
I think that's how I met most of the people though. It was like very random. It was like a change of plans, and so like that made me realize like sometimes you just gotta go along with the flow and see what happens. For example, the festival, the Gion Matsuri, it was just like I just took the wrong bus in Kyoto and then just ended up where the festival was. And then there I just met on a random walking tour like a group of people. Then I just just randomly met and then spent the entire weekend with them. And then I guess therefore, like, if I didn't take that bus, I would have never met these people and probably would have never had the nice weekend I had. So I guess that's like what made me realize then this thing.
So it was great to talk with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you for your time. Where are you from?
I'm from Indonesia.
Indonesia. Are you visiting or living here?
No, I'm just tourist for visiting.
Okay. How long have you been here?
4 days?
4 days.
4 days.
Okay. So you said you've been here twice. This is second time. So including the last time, what is your impression of Japan in general?
I always impressed with Japan because of the culture. I mean, some location still has its culture and people from other countries can learn and can know the original culture of Japan, and that's what impressed me.
What kind of culture, for example?
I mean, this this outfit. I mean, I imagine if it happens in Indonesia, I think almost no stores rent their kebaya. So the traditional outfit of Indonesia is kebaya. I think no stores sells or rent kebaya for the tourists. Even if there is any, it could be very, very, very expensive. And in Asakusa, I found a lot of stores rent a kimono or yukata in very friendly price, affordable, so that tourists can wear it and we can be a Japanese woman for a day. That's why.
Okay, so you mean that there is way more opportunities in Japan to experience traditional culture?
Yeah, and the shrine, even the food, and I think some people doesn't speak English. It's also the way they show their culture.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it's plus minus. It's how they show their love to their country.
Okay, I see. Like so far, what did you like the most about Japan? What was your highlight on this trip and including last trip?
The people.
People.
The people like you, a lot of people are so friendly and smile a lot. Even the lady who wear me this yukata is laugh a lot. And also the food. I find a lot. There are a lot of Japanese food in Indonesia, but here is more authentic.
Okay. Which food did you like the most?
A lot. I love a lot of Japanese food. I can pick one. Omurice.
Omurice. Okay. Unique choice.
I think a lot of people love sushi. I love sushi as well, but I like omurice. I like onigiri. I like yakitori, especially the chicken skin. And I think Indonesian doesn't have dango. I like that.
Okay.
I read that a lot in some comic, in Japanese comic, and I just tasted some days ago. That's my first time.
Okay. From which comic did you get the information about dango?
I don't know if you know this comic because it's an old comic, UFO Baby. I read that when I was in my elementary school, like 15 years ago. Yeah, there's a creature called Wanya. I love dango a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why.
Lastly, when you come back home from Japan, if you can bring anything from Japan, what will you choose to bring back?
I want to bring this bag, like the outfit. I love this outfit. I mean, I think the mindset of people, like even when they cross the street, they obey the traffic light. That's what I admire a lot about Japanese.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Have a nice day.
ご視聴ありがとうございました。いかがだったでしょうか？動画のご感想やテーマのご要望などコメント欄で教えていただけますと幸いです。たくさんのコメントお待ちしております。チャンネル登録の際は通知ボタンもお忘れなく。